Fort Smith Museum of History is getting a facelift. Coming up on the bright side, we'll share an update on renovations and fundraising efforts. And a Springdale band director takes home the state's top honor in his field. Coming up, we'll talk about this year's Arkansas Bandmaster of the Year. Well, hey, welcome to the 5 News Bright Side. I'm Claire Everbach. Fort Smith Police Officer Kyle Newman is publicly thanking the community for its support after he was shot in the line of duty earlier this year. 5 News reporter Jada Daniels got to check in with Newman on his recovery and watch as Congressman Steve Womack awarded him.
2 months after being shot in the line of duty, Officer Kyle Newman returned to the department today, not in uniform, but to be honored. Surrounded by his family, he was recognized as a hero and a walking miracle.
For Officer Newman and his family being here, and God, what an incredible thing this is, a miracle that's taken place.
It was a day of gratitude at the Fort Smith Police Department as Officer Kyle Newman was honored for his courage. For the first time since the May incident, Newman took the podium, not about what happened that night, but about the support he received along the way.
Thank all the police officers, the EMS personnel, and hospital staff that saved my life that night. It's an honor and a privilege to serve with each and every one of you. Thank you all for being here today. It truly means the most to my family.
The support has carried the Newman family through the past 2 months. His wife Raquel by his side, grateful for the outpour of love from around the world.
Received blankets and letters and prayers. I mean, it's just been amazing. He's a walking miracle, truly, and it truly brings to light the true sacrifice that they all make.
Representative Steve Womack said Newman's story is a reminder of the risks first responders face every day.
And they do so knowing that on every single encounter, there is no promise that it's going to go the way you want it to go, that there is danger lurking everywhere.
And while his voice may be weak as a result of his injuries, one thing is clear. He's grateful to be alive.
Just want everybody to know that we're eternally grateful for all their support and their love.
Officer Newman tells me as he looks ahead, his journey with the Fort Smith Police Department is far from over. In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, Jada Daniels, 5 News.
While most students around the area are heading back to school this time of year, one local group was part of a first-time cohort that recently celebrated its graduation. Unlock Human Potential is a skilled trades program in Gentry. It's an accelerated program that helps veterans transition from serving into areas like HVAC, plumbing, and welding. It's a 5-week program, and the director of the electrical programs says the students get to learn a lot.
We do service orders around our campus. We do learning opportunities through building skilled trades projects, such as the walls behind me. We do a lot of virtual reality learning. We do a lot of socio-emotional learning.
Governor Sanders made remarks at the graduation ceremony. She said the program is a great example to the rest of the country for producing a great set of workers and leaders. Well, it's one of the oldest buildings in downtown Fort Smith, if not in this entire region. But now it's in need of a facelift, both inside and out. 5 News anchor Darren Bobb tells us work on the Fort Smith Museum of History building actually began several months ago.
The museum was opened in 1910, and over the years it has been worked on to make it what it is today. But it's been several years since a project this big has taken place. It's a 3-year, $5 million effort that started last fall when every window from the second floor was replaced.
On the first floor, those big shop windows, kind of what we refer to them as, those have all, the woodwork around those has been restored, repaired, and repainted. And then the other 60 plus windows that are on the second, third, and fourth floor have all been replaced to historic standards.
Executive Director Caroline Spear says one of the most visible repairs is to what's called the cornice of the building.
We have the cornice, the crown of the building. And it's the thing that you see from a distance. The cornice has been scraped, repaired, repainted, looks beautiful.
The HVAC has also had a major upgrade, and she says repairing some of the outside brickwork and replacing the roof are the next big projects in line. And once all that's finished, work will begin on the inside, starting with the second floor.
This room right now that we're in is a community room. So this is the room that we use for our events or rentals or different things like that. It's a space the community can use. But we want to open this up for display. We can almost double the space on the second floor.
Then Spears says the community room would move to an eventually revamped basement.
Finishing out the basement, or at least a part of it, will give us a community space, a conference room, and a classroom for children.
Spears says the first floor will also have some minor work done, and she says after it's all finished,
I hope that people see, one, because our primary job here, aside from caring for the building, is to collect the city story and tell the city's history, and the region's history, really. Being able to, with the expansion of the exhibit space, being able to tell more of that story, being able to utilize more of the artifacts, because we're a very artifact-heavy museum. We will be able to better serve the public. We'll have more space. We'll have more ability to do programming on more exhibitions and more parts and pieces of history.
In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, I'm Darren Bobb, 5 News.
The University of Arkansas in Fayetteville says it had another record year for fundraising. The university announced that it funded more than $169 million for the next fiscal year. That's another top 5 year for fundraising, which the U of A also had last year. The school's vice chancellor for advancement told us that the money is largely helping an in-state scholarship endowment.
The Land of Opportunity Scholarship Initiative that's designed to help Arkansans only be able to afford and come to the University of Arkansas, have student success, and then graduate, and then go on to have great careers.
More than 340 senior pickleball players battled it out in Fayetteville this past weekend. With the national championship spots on the line, we'll have the highlights after the break. Welcome back to The Bright Side. The city of Pea Ridge recently celebrated its first ever farmers market. The 2026 pilot season was designed with the community in mind as a way to connect with people who grow and sell local produce and to support local agriculture and small businesses. Heath Ballin with Ballin's Bees was at the farmers market today and says selling his fresh honey is a way to keep the business growing.
Through the sales, that's what helps buy equipment for the bees and keep things going, and that's what fuels the business.
Admission is free, and the farmers market will continue from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. every other Saturday until October. Well, a Springdale band director is hitting a high note after being named Arkansas's Bandmaster of the Year. As 5 News reporter Emily Moss explains, it's one of the highest honors for band directors in the entire state.
Meet Jeff Key. The Don Tyson School of Innovation band director is this year's Arkansas Bandmaster of the Year, one of the highest honors in the profession.
I kind of felt in awe at first, and I felt very humble to be in that class of people and have that distinction is quite the honor.
Key's passion started back in 7th grade, where it also nearly ended. Just as he was ready to quit band, his Magnolia Junior High band director, Joel Sutton, convinced him to stay, changing the course of his life.
And he came to me and he said, I believe in you, and I think that you're going to be great at this. And if you'll let me help you, I know that you're going to do well and make region and have all of these accolades coming. And lo and behold, that's what triggered me.
Now he's behind the baton. Key is passing on that same encouragement to his own students, a philosophy that's helped define his career and earn him recognition across the state.
It's about teaching students and giving them, it's not just about the music part, it's about the experiences, it's about making them feel whole and being part of a family.
And whether a student earns all-state honors or just learns their first scale, Key says there's a place for every student in his band.
We have no bench. Every kid participates in band. Band is a family. I truly believe that.
In Springdale, covering news where you live, Emily Moss, 5 News.
Hundreds of senior pickleball players from across the country were in Fayetteville competing in a tournament with a trip to nationals on the line. But for many players, the sport is about more than just winning. We talked to some intense players on how pickleball is bringing people together and continuing to grow in Northwest Arkansas.
The sound of pickleball filled the courts at Fayetteville Athletic Club this weekend. But these players aren't just here for a casual game.
We're going to play a lot of games. By the time this term is over, we will have played 991 pickleball games.
The U.S. Senior Pickleball South Regional Championship brought almost 350 players from 19 states to Northwest Arkansas.
There are no barriers when it comes to pickleball. None. I mean, you could go down the list. Race, creed, color, religion.
Competitors ranged from those turning 50 this year to the tournament's oldest player, who is 87. While the competition can get intense, players say the sport's biggest draw is the community that comes along with it.
We all met through the love of pickleball. You just meet so many people that otherwise you might not meet just in life. You know, different ages, different places that they live, and it just brings you all together.
And that sense of community has helped the sport grow rapidly in Arkansas.
We had 15 members when I started. We have over 800 members in Arkansas now. So next, my goal was to bring a championship series to Arkansas.
Players who qualify will advance to the U.S. Senior Pickleball National Championship scheduled for December in Casa Grande, Arizona. But win or lose, it's clear this is far more than just a casual game for these seniors.
You can play this every day, twice a day, all day if you want.
One Facebook plea brought strangers out in the triple-digit heat over the weekend, all trying to save a tiny kitten trapped in a storm drain. The kitten's cries drew a crowd deep inside a drainage pipe in West Little Rock. It started with a handwritten sign and a Facebook post. Then volunteers began showing up with flashlights, cameras, nets, and even firefighting gear, all trying to reach into the opening, while others worked for hours trying to guide the kitten to safety.
We're lucky to have so many people that really care about animals and could drop everything that they were doing and come out and help. So we're very grateful.
And after more than 8 hours, the kitten was finally rescued. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week for the 5 News Bright Side. We'll see you back here next week. Have a wonderful rest of your day.